Guten Tag, meine lieben Kinder. Ich bin wieder Pfarrer Dennis und ich komme aus Deutschland. Ihr habt die Frage gefragt, darf ich etwas auf Deutsch sprechen? Also, jetzt spreche ich auf Deutsch. If you didn't know, I was speaking in German, and I wanted to answer a few of your questions about what it's like here in Germany. So, you already got the first one where I spoke a little bit in German. I might switch things back and forth. Vielen Dank auf meine Kameramacherin. Das ist Liesel, meine Tochter, dahinter die Kamera. There's my daughter Liesel behind the camera. She says hello. She's been a great recorder for me as we have been here in Germany. Now, I know that you guys enjoyed an awesome water day the other day. And it probably made sense because what was it, 90 degrees? Oh, that is so hot. Well, here I'm joining you in our hotel room. And the one thing, if I were to look around, you know what's missing? Klimaanlage, or air conditioning. You want to know why? Because it generally doesn't get that hot here in Germany. So generally we have this thing where you just enjoy whatever weather it is. So I'm going to show you something really cool. Here's our window, and it has a little knob. Well, this seems a little bit odd. Okay. Whoa, I can open up the entire window, and that's very common in Germany. And you can get out here. Liesel's going to show you our great view from our room. As we are here, this goes out onto a fire escape, and if you pan to the right, you will see the amazing view we have of the city. That is the city church. Some of the spots here in Germany, you can see it's a little bit of a cloudy day out today, but it's going to be relatively nice, only about 65 to 70 degrees. 65 or 70 degrees. So this is, again, looking back into our room. But yeah, we don't have the air conditioning because it generally doesn't get as hot. But when it does get hot, it is miserable. And my first time in Germany, 21 years ago, if you can believe that amount, 21 years ago, it was 90 degrees without any air conditioning. Talk about sweaty. You did not want to smell Pastor Dennis at that point in his journey. But here's a really cool other thing we have. So you see this window? So it's closed now, right? Wrong. Now you have it open just a little bit of venting, and the Germans call this Luftung. It is very important. Even in the dead of winter, when it's like 10 degrees outside, they will have the window open, just this little bit of a crack that's above here. So it's a really cool factor that we have here in Germany. So this is a little bit, and the other question you had was about money. It is a little bit different. I'm going to show you some of the money that they have here. So instead of being singular greenbacks or whatnot, they are in different colors. So you have an orange for your 50 euros, 20 euros is a teal or a blue, another orange or maybe a maroon on your 10. And what's cool about the bills is that you happen to see, Lisa, if you want to go in, there is a bridge here. Each of the different denominations have a bridge. So here's a bridge, there's a bridge, and then on the other side, if you go over here, there's not a bridge, it's a window. So the European currency, this currency is used not only in Germany, but in places like Austria, France, Italy, and other countries. And so it talks about bridging the country gap between the various countries and a window into each other's world. And we have some other coins here. They don't have quarters, as you can see there. Now we're going to look at some of the coins. They don't have quarters. They have 20 cent, they have 10 cent, there's a 5 cent. Oh, there's a 10, there's a 5. But they also have a penny, which we don't have here, and 2 cent coins. But not only 20 cent coins here, we also have 50 cent, 1 euro, and 2 euros. So that's a lot of the money that they are. So that is a little bit of a glimpse here. Now I'm going to be joining you in our next little segment to talk about some of the other questions you have. But hopefully you enjoyed this little glimpse into what life may be like here in Germany, even if it is just for a couple weeks like we are here. All right, bis bald, which means I'll see you soon in our next segment.
And welcome back, everybody. It's Pastor Dennis again, going to be filming some stuff. It's tough to see through this chain, but we are now at the top of the Wittenberg Castle Church. And what you see there off in the distance, I'd say probably about 5 miles away, are a bunch of farm fields. One of the questions you had was about the farming that is all going on here. And Germany does have a pretty decent agriculture sector, and you'll have to the zooming in and out is due to the various chains that are around here, but you can see there are various fields out there in the distance. You can see the kind of the ridges of the hills back there, so a lot of forested areas. We are in a forested kind of part of Germany, not tremendous, but I'm going to show you over here. Now what you see there in the distance, that is the Elbe River. To me, it is one of the main rivers in Germany, but it is more like here, it looks much like the Cedar River, maybe even the Wapsi or something like that, but people still will use their barges and various things on there to get to this river. You can see even the port that is over here that they use. They have smaller boats than our barges that we might see on the Mississippi, and you see some of the trucks driving by there. But you see there in the distance, we are in a plain. So you will see many farm fields out there that might look like what we see when we have when we're driving along the Wapsi, the Maquoketa, Cedar, even the Mississippi. And so this river will turn into a huge river like the Mississippi does down in New Orleans, and is a huge place for shipping. But you can see all the fields out there that the farmers are using to grow various crops. When we've been here, we've seen corn, we've seen some various other stuff. So they do grow corn mainly for feed, just like we do back in the US. But that is a look at the farming culture here kind of in Germany. And you can see this amazing greenery. They've had a little bit of high water, but not terrible here. Southern Germany, they had some extreme flooding. So up around here, but this shows you just a little bit more of what the actual, the land around Wittenberg that we're in. Now, not all Germany has this. They have mountains in the southern part of Germany. They have lowlands, which you can't really grow anything in the northwest of Germany. We're also in the main site for a lot of lakes. There are other lakes. But here, as you can kind of see me going around our tower, it's tough to see. I also want to show you something else going on here today. So we happen to be at this big festival, kind of like the Jones County Fair, but I would say even bigger. You have all these vendors set up in the old town. They're all looking to set up things. This is going to be the big town festival that they are going to have today. It celebrates the marriage of Martin Luther and Katharina von Bora, who were married 499 years ago. So they were married in 1525. But that's their big town festival, much like the Wyoming Fair, the Olin Jamboree, or even the Jones County Fair. All right, you are going to get some more information as you see that big church down there in the distance. We'll be talking about churches next. So we will talk to you later after we fade out from here. Hey kids, it's me for kind of our last segment for today. Hopefully you aren't too bored, but if you're falling asleep, I'll forgive you. So right now I'm standing in front of the Wittenberg Luther door. This is where history was made, 1517, and Martin Luther posted some things, some questions about what was going on with the church, and so he happened to post this. And you can be able to see there are 95 of them, 95 theses. But I want to show this because this is a door to the actual church where I've been preaching, where I've been actually doing some things. And it's, this is the door, right? So it's a pretty small church, especially compared to Zion. What do you think? You think I'm telling the truth or not? Who thinks yes? Who thinks no? Okay, so my wonderful camera assistant, would you mind backing up and showing just how big this church is? We're on the outside. I think you got it all right, Legal? Right? No, you don't have it all? You've got to be kidding me. All the way back there, and you still can't get it. And she even ran into some pockets.
But this shows you just how big this church is that I have here. I would say that it is at least twice the size of Zion, if not bigger. I think when you count the huge dome over there that you're seeing right there, it's a lot bigger. That's where we were in our last segment. But this is a castle church. Now, this is very similar to many churches that were built in Germany about the same time, about 1500. So again, 600 years old, but this is generally considered the big part of the churches. And it is fascinating to be inside the church and hear it echo. Like if you go up to the sanctuary, or like what you did last night with the program, you might have heard some echoing going back and forth. Here, you really hear it echo, because they're so big. You see all the stained glass windows? Our windows at Zion are maybe half the size of the small one, and then you have these big tall ones. And again, this isn't even the biggest church that we have in Germany or in Wittenberg. That goes to the church that you can see the steeples down there. It is huge. So they are much bigger, but here's the thing. Not a lot of people are going to church on a regular basis. So these churches, when they have their church services, only get about what we would get at a time for a service at Wyoming. So when we've done our service for Monday, Ash Wednesday, or helping out with some of the other things, we don't have a lot of, we fill our church. Well, that's about what they would get in these huge churches that probably could seat 4 times as many people. So that's a little bit about what it is there. But the other thing I wanted to show you, this is actually, Liesel's going to help us out. That's what pastors wear. Now, the person on the left of Christ is one Martin Luther. Again, we've talked about him a lot. That's one of the reasons I'm here. But he is wearing a black robe, or a black alb almost. That is a professor's robe, because Martin Luther was a professor or a teacher of students. And so in Germany, the tradition is that pastors follow the educational path and will wear black instead of our white alb. Really means the same thing. They have done the studies. They have something to show that they are with what it is, but instead of black, they will wear black for their robe and not just their undershirt. So where I wear a white alb, they tend to wear black with a little tab. So this tab that I wear would actually go down. And that kind of talks about their ability to preach. So that's what looks a little bit different about German services. In fact, I'm going to go to a service at 10 o'clock tonight. Who else is going to be awake 10 o'clock on a Friday night? Are you? Maybe not. I don't think that's the best. But I hope that you are able to enjoy it. And you can see this amazing festival that we have ready to go here, taking all these things. It's like we're taking a step back in time, 500 years, or 499 years to be exact, celebrating the marriage of Katie and Martin Luther. Hopefully you guys have had a great week here at VBS, and I am just thrilled to death that you have been able to join me on this journey. While I miss seeing you, I love sharing all of this stuff. Viel Glück, which means many good things, und Wiederschauen, which means we'll see you again.